In 1977, humanity did something almost unbelievable. We built 2 machines and sent them into the dark. No return plan. No rescue. No certainty they would survive. Just a one-way journey into the unknown. Those machines were called Voyager 1 and Voyager 2. And what they discovered changed everything we thought we knew about our own solar system. At the time, the outer planets were distant mysteries. Blurry shapes in telescopes. Cold, silent, and, most scientists believed, unchanging. But Voyager had a different mission. Not just to observe, but to reveal. And almost immediately, it became clear, space was not quiet. It was alive. Before Voyager, we imagined the solar system as something simple. Rocky planets close to the sun. Gas giants far away. Moons just orbiting quietly. But Voyager shattered that idea. Because beyond the asteroid belt, there weren't just planets. There were entire systems of worlds. Violent. Dynamic. Unpredictable. The journey itself began with a rare cosmic alignment. A once-in-a-lifetime event. Roughly every 176 years, the giant planets, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune, line up in a way that allows a spacecraft to visit all of them using gravity alone. Like stepping stones across the solar system. NASA saw the opportunity and took the risk. Voyager 2 launched first. August 20, 1977. Then Voyager 1 followed just weeks later, on a faster path that would eventually let it overtake its twin. 2 machines. 1 mission. To go farther than anything humanity had ever sent before. But before they reached the giants, something quiet, and almost haunting, happened. One of the probes turned its camera back toward Earth. From millions of kilometers away, our planet was already shrinking. Just a small, glowing sphere in the darkness. A reminder of where the journey began. And how fragile that starting point really was. Milky Way Jupiter. The system that changed everything when Voyager reached Jupiter in 1979, it didn't just send pictures. It opened a door. Jupiter had always been impressive. Even from Earth, you could see its bands, its colors, its size. But up close? It was something else entirely. The planet wasn't calm. It wasn't stable. It wasn't even predictable. It was a world of motion. Endless storms twisting across its atmosphere. Clouds rising and collapsing. Winds screaming at unimaginable speeds. And then there was the Great Red Spot. A storm so large it could swallow Earth whole. Scientists already knew it existed, but Voyager revealed its true nature. A massive, rotating system. Ancient. Violent. Persistent. A storm that had been raging for centuries. But as incredible as Jupiter was, it wasn't the biggest surprise. That shock came from a moon. A small one. A world no one expected to matter. Volcano Io, the impossible world before Voyager, scientists assumed most moons were dead. Like Earth's moon. Cratered. Silent. Frozen in time. Io destroyed that assumption. Completely. Voyager captured something no one had ever seen before on another world: active volcanoes. Not ancient ones. Not extinct ones. Real eruptions. Happening in real time. Plumes of material shooting hundreds of kilometers into space. Lava flows reshaping the surface. A world constantly rebuilding itself. Io wasn't just alive. It was the most volcanically active world in the entire solar system. And suddenly, everything changed. Because if one moon could be active, how many others were hiding secrets too? Snowflake. Europa, the hidden ocean. Then Voyager turned its attention to another moon. Europa. At first glance, it looked calm. Smooth. Bright. Covered in ice. But the surface told a different story. Long cracks stretched across it. Like something underneath was pushing, trying to break free. Scientists began to suspect something extraordinary. Beneath that frozen shell, there might be an ocean. A global ocean. Hidden in darkness. Liquid water. Far after Jupiter, there was a sense that maybe the biggest surprises were over. That perhaps nothing could match what Voyager had already revealed. The storms. The volcanoes. The hidden oceans. It felt like the peak. It wasn't. Because ahead waited a planet that looked, from Earth, almost perfect. Elegant. Balanced. Peaceful. A symbol of order in a chaotic universe. That planet was Saturn. And Voyager was about to prove that its beauty was hiding something far more complicated. Dizzy the rings, an illusion shattered before Voyager. Saturn's rings seemed simple. A few bright bands. Smooth. Continuous. Almost like solid disks wrapped around the planet. But as the spacecraft moved closer, that illusion began to fall apart. The rings weren't smooth at all. They weren't even continuous. They were made of thousands of individual ringlets. Thin. Fragmented. Chaotic. Some were tightly packed. Others were separated by dark gaps. Twisted structures. Braided patterns. Ripples that looked like waves frozen in time. It wasn't a ring system. It was a dynamic environment. Constantly shifting. Constantly interacting. And then came something even stranger. Voyager detected faint, ghost-like features across the rings. Dark streaks that appeared, and then vanished. They didn't behave like solid objects. They didn't follow simple orbital physics. These became known as spokes. And even today, they're not fully understood. Saturn's rings didn't just become more detailed. They became mysterious. Crescent moon, the shepherds of chaos. Then Voyager discovered something almost poetic. Tiny moons. Hidden within and around the rings. These were later called shepherd moons. Their gravity didn't just orbit Saturn, it controlled the rings. They pulled particles into narrow bands. Prevented them from drifting away. Maintained sharp edges where chaos should have taken over. It was like watching invisible hands shaping structure out of disorder. The more Voyager saw, the clearer it became. Saturn wasn't just beautiful. It was active. Fog Titan, the world you can't see. Then came one of the most intriguing objects in the entire solar system. A moon larger than the planet Mercury. Titan, but Voyager couldn't see its surface. Because Titan was hidden. Completely covered in a thick, orange haze. An atmosphere. Dense. Layered. Complex. At the time, this was shocking. Because Titan wasn't just another moon. It was a world with a real atmosphere, rich in nitrogen. Similar, in some ways, to Earth. But colder. Darker. More alien. Whatever lay beneath that haze, Voyager could not reveal it. And that mystery made Titan even more powerful. Because sometimes, what you can't see is more unsettling than what you can. Snowflake Enceladus, a quiet warning. Another moon passed quietly through Voyager's cameras. Small. bright, covered in ice. Enceladus at first, it didn't seem extraordinary. No massive storms. No visible eruptions. Just a smooth, reflective surface. But something about it felt different. Even then, there were subtle hints. Clues that this world might not be as inactive as it looked. Voyager didn't fully uncover its secret. That would come decades later. But it planted the idea that even the smallest worlds could hide enormous surprises. Milky Way. Beauty turns uneasy by the time Voyager left Saturn. The pattern was impossible to ignore. Every time we looked closer, things became more complicated. Jupiter wasn't just a gas giant. It was a violent system of storms and volcanic moons. And Saturn? It wasn't a symbol of calm. It was a place where rings behaved like living structures, moons controlled chaos through gravity, entire worlds hid beneath impenetrable atmospheres. The deeper we looked, the less the solar system resembled the one we thought we knew. And then, the journey split. Rocket the Great Divide. After Saturn, the mission changed forever. Voyager 1 was redirected. Instead of continuing outward with the others, it was pulled upward. Out of the flat plane of the solar system. Its path would take it toward interstellar space, leaving the planets behind. But its twin,